Have you ever imagined a town so high above the valleys that it seems to float among the clouds? Hidden deep in the southwestern corner of China's Yunnan province lies a place that looks like it belongs in a fantasy movie rather than the real world. This is Lüchun County, a remarkable mountain town that has captured the attention of travelers, photographers, and geography enthusiasts from around the globe. Perched dramatically on a narrow ridge along the southern foothills of the legendary Alao Mountains, this settlement sits at an elevation of approximately 1,700 meters, or about 5,600 feet above sea level. What makes Lüchun extraordinary is not simply its height, but the way it has been built. Unlike most towns that spread across flat plains or valleys, Lüchun is literally constructed along mountain peaks and ridges. From a distance, the buildings appear to cling impossibly to the mountainside, while winding roads snake across steep slopes that drop hundreds of meters into lush valleys below. On misty mornings, thick clouds often fill the valleys, leaving only the town visible above a sea of white, creating the illusion that it is floating in the sky. This unique geography has shaped every aspect of life here, from transportation and architecture to agriculture and culture. The surrounding landscapes are among the most breathtaking in all of China, featuring dense forests, terraced fields, deep river gorges, and endless mountain ranges stretching toward the horizon. Despite its stunning beauty, Lüchun remains relatively unknown outside Asia, making it one of the world's most fascinating hidden destinations. In this journey, we'll explore how this mountaintop town came to exist, how people survive and thrive in such a challenging environment, and why Lüchun may be one of the most extraordinary places you've never heard of. To understand Lüchun, we first need to understand the incredible landscape that surrounds it. Yunnan province is often called China's most geographically diverse region, and nowhere is this more evident than in the mountains surrounding Lüchun. The town sits within a vast network of rugged terrain shaped by millions of years of tectonic activity. The towering Alao Mountains form a natural barrier that influences weather patterns, ecosystems, and human settlement throughout the region. Unlike the gentle hills found in many parts of the world, these mountains rise sharply from river valleys, creating dramatic elevation changes within very short distances. A traveler can move from subtropical valleys filled with banana trees to cool mountain forests in just a few hours. This variation in altitude creates multiple climate zones stacked on top of each other, allowing an astonishing variety of plant and animal life to flourish. The ridge on which Lüchun stands was chosen because it offered several advantages to early settlers. It provided protection from floods, clear views of approaching visitors, and cooler temperatures compared to the valleys below. However, building a town on such terrain presented enormous challenges. Roads had to be carved into steep mountainsides, houses required specialized foundations, and every piece of construction material needed to be transported up difficult slopes. Even today, the town's layout reflects the constraints imposed by the mountain ridge. Streets curve around natural contours, buildings are stacked at different elevations, and many homes feature multiple levels designed to adapt to uneven ground. Yet these challenges have become part of Lüchun's identity. Instead of fighting the mountain, the town has learned to live with it, creating an urban landscape that feels perfectly integrated with nature. Visitors often describe the sensation of walking through Lüchun as being unlike any other place, because every turn reveals spectacular views of distant peaks, deep valleys, and cloud-filled horizons. It is a place where geography dominates daily life, constantly reminding residents of the powerful natural forces that shaped their home. One of the most fascinating aspects of Lüchun is the cultural diversity that thrives within this mountain environment. The region is home to several ethnic minority groups, including communities that have lived in these mountains for centuries. Their traditions, languages, clothing, architecture, and agricultural practices have evolved in close connection with the surrounding landscape, unlike many modern cities where traditional customs have faded over time. Cultural heritage remains an important part of everyday life in Lüchun. Local festivals often feature colorful traditional costumes, music performed on ancient instruments, and dances that celebrate the relationship between people and nature. Markets bustle with locally grown produce, handmade crafts, and regional specialties passed down through generations. Agriculture remains central to the economy, and many families continue to cultivate terraced fields carved into steep mountain slopes. These terraces are not only practical farming systems, but also works of engineering and art. Built over centuries, they transform rugged mountainsides into layered landscapes that resemble giant staircases stretching toward the sky. During different seasons, the terraces change color dramatically. Bright green rice shoots emerge in spring, golden crops dominate autumn, and reflective water-filled fields create mirror-like surfaces that capture the sky. The people who maintain these terraces possess deep knowledge of water management, soil conservation, and mountain ecology. Their techniques have allowed communities to farm successfully in difficult terrain for generations. In many ways, Lüchun represents a living example of how human societies can adapt to challenging environments while preserving cultural identity. Visitors often leave impressed not only by the scenery, but also by the resilience, creativity, and traditions of the people who call these mountains home. Perhaps the most breathtaking experience in Lüchun occurs during sunrise and sunset, when nature transforms the mountaintop town into something almost magical. As dawn approaches, the valleys below are frequently filled with dense clouds and mist. Slowly, the first rays of sunlight illuminate the peaks while the lower landscape remains hidden beneath a white blanket. From elevated viewpoints around town, residents and visitors can witness what appears to be an endless ocean of clouds stretching across the horizon. Mountain peaks emerge like islands, and the town itself seems suspended above the world. Photographers travel long distances for the opportunity to capture these extraordinary scenes. During sunset, the mountains glow with shades of orange, pink, and purple as shadows deepen across the valleys. The changing light highlights the contours of the landscape, revealing details that remain invisible during the middle of the day. Weather conditions can change rapidly, creating dramatic visual effects as clouds roll across ridges and sunlight breaks through openings in the sky. These moments remind observers why mountain environments have inspired myths, legends, and spiritual traditions throughout human history. In Lüchun, such scenes are not rare events but regular occurrences that residents experience throughout the year. Imagine stepping outside your front door and seeing clouds below your feet rather than above your head. For many people living here, this remarkable view is simply part of everyday life, yet even long-time residents often pause to admire the beauty of the landscape, proving that nature's most spectacular displays never lose their power to inspire awe. Today, Lüchun stands as a remarkable example of humanity's ability to adapt, innovate, and thrive in challenging environments. While modernization has brought improved infrastructure, transportation, healthcare, and education, the town has managed to preserve much of its unique character. New roads connect remote mountain communities, and technology has reduced some of the isolation that once defined life in the region. At the same time, local leaders and residents recognize the importance of protecting both natural landscapes and cultural heritage. Sustainable tourism has become increasingly important, allowing visitors to experience the beauty of the area while supporting local economies. Travelers who venture to Lüchun often discover something increasingly rare in the modern world, a place where geography, culture, and history remain deeply interconnected. It is not a city built to impress through skyscrapers or massive infrastructure projects. Instead, its appeal comes from harmony with the mountains that surround it. Every road, house, terrace, and viewpoint tells a story of adaptation and resilience. As urbanization transforms landscapes across the globe, places like Lüchun remind us that there are still communities living in close partnership with nature. High above the valleys of Yunnan, surrounded by clouds, forests, and ancient traditions, this mountaintop town continues to thrive against the odds. It remains one of the world's hidden wonders, a place where the earth rises toward the sky and where people have built an extraordinary life among the peaks. If there is one destination that proves reality can be just as incredible as fiction, Lüchun may very well be it.